Alright, what is going on, everybody? Hello, and welcome. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. I indeed am doing fine. And I'm looking forward to today's stream, which will be something very different. That is right. Gather round, everyone, for a nice fireside chat here this lovely Sunday, the 24th of April, 2016. I am your president, Phil Roosevelt Burnell, and I will do a fireside chat with you here. 0 people on the stream have any idea what that's a reference to. Alright, so hello everyone and welcome. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing good. I'm doing good. Starting the final week of April today. And what a week it's going to be. My God, there's so much going on this upcoming week. I don't know if you're aware of the crazy amount of variety that lies before us in the coming week. Could be quite incredible. So I hope that you'll join me for it. I'll briefly talk about it here on the pre-stream. Tonight I'm doing the week in preview, where I will fully explain the week in detail so you know what to expect. Okay? But, in the regard of everything going on right now, it's pretty wild. The amount of stuff that I have to tackle this week, and I don't know. I do not know if I'm going to be able to even do everything that I want to do this week. Quite frankly, there's that much going on. Okay? But today we're doing something completely different. I pulled an Audible. I swapped the schedule around because, in the past couple days, a couple people have actually sent me codes for this beta. Now, let me explain. First of all, I want to say special thanks to a couple people. In fact, wow, I'm getting an error. Hold on a second. I got a laptop error. Hold on. Ow. Okay. Alright, I cleared that up. Sorry about that. Alright, so anyway, what I wanted to say, special thanks to the Industrial Gamer and to Kushiaki, both avid viewers who actually sent me codes to participate in this Mirror's Edge Catalyst beta. I'm pretty excited. I am pretty excited for this because, as you know, Mirror's Edge, wow. I know a lot of people are like, what is that? Mirror's Edge was a game, a completely unique game. Like, nothing like this game had ever really been in the mainstream eye at the time that it was released way back when. More than 7 years ago, actually. I believe it was like 7 to 7.5 years ago when I actually played Mirror's Edge. It was actually one of the first full games that I did a playthrough of on YouTube. What I mean by that is, at the time, I was actually doing more abridged content. I wasn't doing full playthroughs of games from start to finish. It was more like, if I was playing a game and I wanted to do a highlight of something going on, I would do a highlight video. And then I finally started doing full playthroughs upon request of people asking me to just show everything. And I remember Mirror's Edge was an awesome game. It was so different. The visuals were great. Unfortunately, at the time, I was using a camera, pointed at my TV to record the gameplay. And, unfortunately, because of that, it didn't look very good. It wasn't a visually appealing playthrough because a lot of the times, the camera brightness adjustment wouldn't adjust properly. And it would look way too bright or way too dark, and a lot of times you couldn't even see what was really going on. Just one of the pitfalls of filming with a camera like that back then. Back then, quite honestly, direct capture was a rare oddity that people would do direct capture with commentary and all of that. It just wasn't common back then. So I remember playing the game, and I remember I remember being torn because I liked the game a ton. I liked the story. I liked the unique puzzle and parkour aspects of the game. At the same time, the game had some bugs that I remember. Some really weird bugs. Remember the one bug where I fell infinitely and I couldn't stop falling? Remember that? And I had to completely restart the mission. And I remember there was another bug where something happened, like it glitched or something. And I ended up having to redo the whole mission because the game glitched out at the end. And, I definitely enjoyed the game, and it was so unique and different. And I still remember, after beating the game, I was like, that was so refreshing and so different, even though it certainly had some polish missing from it. You know, I wonder where they'll go from here. And it ended up being a sales hit. It was a highly rated game sales hit. And it disappeared. And people strongly criticized the game studio for saying, what the hell happened? That they never made a sequel. Where, you know, what the hell? You know, in an era, a console era, where a lot of the games, let's face it, right? A lot of the games of the last console generation ended up kind of being more rehashes or more of the same, or, you know, the commonplace stuff you were expecting. Remember, there was a big boom of first-person shooters for a while. That was all the rage. You know, and people were like, this was a game that was so unique and different, and it never got a sequel. What happened? People asked, people petitioned, shit. People really wanted to see a Mirror's Edge sequel. And then finally, after so many years, waiting and waiting, it was announced at E3, I don't think it was last year, I think it was the year before, that they were finally working on a new Mirror's Edge. And, about damn time, is what I have to say. I've been waiting and waiting for something on this game, and now finally, it's coming out next month, by the way. Supposedly it comes out in late May. You know, the game was actually supposed to come out earlier, but ended up getting delayed a couple times. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but this is the beta. Now, the reason I'm saying thank you to Kushiaki and Industrial Gamers, because they both sent me codes for this beta. And I pretty much would not have played it if I didn't get a code for it, okay? And, I didn't even know it existed. And I've heard some pretty unique things about this beta. I've heard that it's open world. That certainly was nothing like the original game. The original game was not open world at all, right? I've heard that there's a lot of content to it. There's a lot to do. And that it could actually be quite a time sink if you put your time into it. At the flip side of that, I've also heard it's very buggy. I've heard a lot of people are trying to play it and it's crashing nonstop. Crash, crash, crash. And you know what? It's a beta. Fair enough. It's a beta. It's not the final product. So, the bottom line is, if it does crash nonstop, I'm not going to have too much of a problem with it. It is a free beta. But it will be disappointing, at least if I can't get in any kind of significant progress because the thing keeps crashing. So I hope that's not the truth. You know, I hope that at least it'll save progress or whatever. But this will be interesting because I want to see what the game's going to be like. People have said this is not a sequel. In fact, this is a total reboot. It's been 7.5 years. I'm pretty sure it's okay for them to reboot the series. Yeah, it's supposed to be a reboot. Yes, it has the same characters or whatever, but they reimagined the whole situation, the whole plot, and this is kind of redoing it from the ground up. So I guess we'll see, right? Now, I heard some crazy stuff, okay? I've actually heard that if you look for everything and you do everything in this beta, it could be 6 to 8 hours of gameplay. That's insane for a beta. Now, I don't know if it's true. It's just what I've heard. I'm certainly not going to be playing this beta for that long. For 2 reasons. Number 1, because that's a lot of time to invest into a beta of something that's unfinished, okay? And number 2, alright? Number 2, that would spoil the whole game. Just think about that. Imagine if you play the beta for 8 hours. So, how much of a chunk of the final game is that? And then you're going to have to replay all of that when you actually get the finalized game. So obviously you don't want to waste your time, right? So, yeah, that's the deal, is I really don't want to spend insane amounts of time in a beta and end up spoiling the final product. Especially if I like the beta. You certainly wouldn't want to spoil the entire product. You know what I mean? But I will play it for a stream. We'll play it for today's stream, and we'll see, you know, what can I get out of it? What will I like, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's good. I hope it's good. I really liked, like I said, I really liked the original. I thought it was something refreshing and different. Okay? So, ladies and gents, thanks for being here for the stream. It's going to be a fun one, right? Something completely different. What a week this is going to be. I have so much on my plate. I really do. I have so much on my plate. Let me give you guys an idea of the stuff that I'm going to try to get done this week before we move into May, okay? Just listen to this, okay? All right. Tonight, I'm doing the weekly preview, okay? In addition, I need to film a private Q&A video for a patron. In addition, I'm going to be filming I almost said release day unboxing. I'm going to be filming the Loot Crate unboxing for April. I actually got April's Loot Crate yesterday. So, I haven't had a chance to film it. I'm going to be doing that tonight. Tomorrow, if it's available, which it's supposed to be, okay, we'll see, fingers crossed, the Gears of War 4 beta comes out tomorrow. And I love the Gears of War multiplayer. I played, I played a bunch of it, Gears of War 3, and I'm looking forward to 4. So, tomorrow's gameplay stream will be that, as long as it's available. Now, it might not be available. I don't know. It's supposed to be. But we'll see what happens. Okay? And, that'll be fun. That's something completely different. Tomorrow night, I'm going to try to complete Dark Souls 3. Now, I've already beaten the game. Beat the final boss. Did most of the stuff. The only thing that's really left is optional side content. For example, some NPC quest lines apparently can still be completed. But I've done everything when it comes to bosses and everything except for one. I did not complete the hardest boss in the game. And I would like to at least attempt it a few more times because I didn't really sink too much time into it the first time around. Since then, I've gained many levels. I deal much more damage. I'm using a different weapon. And I'd like to see how I can do. So, yes, tomorrow night, I'm going to be attempting to take out the Nameless King in Dark Souls 3 for a couple of hours. I'm still on the fence if I should stream it or not. Maybe I'll just record it offline. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. I'll think about it, and I'll let you know in the week in preview, I guess. Tuesday of this week is completely up in the air. And here's why it's up in the air. Because there's a ton of stuff that's supposed to all come out on Tuesday. First of all, there's rumors that Guile, the next DLC character for Street Fighter V, will be released this Tuesday. Now, that's just a rumor. It hasn't been confirmed 100% by Capcom yet, but there are strong rumors it's coming out by the end of the month. Number 2, as you can see on the dashboard here, Hitman Episode 2 is being released. So, the second episode of Hitman coming out. That'll be fun. I really liked Episode 1. I'm looking forward to Episode 2. Okay? In addition to that, The Walking Dead Michonne Episode 3, the final episode of her 3-episode mini-series from Telltale Games, comes out on Tuesday. So all of that stuff at once on Tuesday, that's insane, right? That's a lot of stuff, and I don't know what I'm going to do. It depends. If Guile's coming out, maybe I'll play Guile. If, maybe if he's not available, then I'll probably be doing Hitman. We'll have to see. We have to kind of play it by ear and see what happens. Now, also, I have to complete Star Fox Zero. I have the final stage to replay and beat, and then there's secret content, secret stuff to unlock in the game. I'm going to be honest with you all. I was so fucking disappointed by this game on Friday that I had no desire to play it again today. In fact, I purposely did not want to play it again today. Because I was so pissed at how disappointing the game was, how archaic the game design was, how terrible the motion controls were, that the final stage doesn't have any proper fucking checkpoints. It's just, everything about the game is disappointing, man. Seriously, it really is. I don't know what happened, what the hell they were thinking with this fucking thing, but that's why I'm not playing it. But I definitely would like to at least attempt to beat that game this week at some point. I don't know when, and quite honestly, I'd rather wait for it to be the last thing. That's how turned off I am at the game after playing it on Friday. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. They fucked it up. But I need to play that again at some point this week. Obviously, once I do feel that I've played Dark Souls 3 enough, whether I beat Nameless King or not, you know, at least give it a few more shots. I need to review that game this week. Okay? I need to complete it. I don't know when or not complete it. I need to review it. I don't know when I'm going to review it. I need time to do it. And then in addition to that, just listen, I'm not done yet. This Thursday, my Q&A show, Ask the King, will return. So I do ask that you post up your questions on the kingofhate.com forums, because there's not much time left. You need to start posting questions up, and I know we don't have a lot of questions, because I haven't talked about it in 2 months. So please post up your questions. The more questions that I have for the show, the better. And then, this Friday, it's the Blizzard Marathon, which means I need to find time sometime this week to basically set up World of Warcraft on my PC, because, yeah, it's going to be a World of Warcraft stream, which is going to be insanity, because I haven't played this game in 10 years. I'm sure the game has massively changed since the last time I played it. And it's going to be a fun stream, with interactivity with the stream chat, where people will probably be helping me to build a character and a class and stuff. Could be interesting. So, the deal is, this week is insane amount of variety and insane amount of stuff. I don't even know how I'm going to do everything this week. I don't. I really don't. I don't know how I'm going to fit it all in. So I guess we'll find out. It's a pretty crazy week coming up. I'll outline this more in the weekly preview tonight, so you know how exactly I'm covering everything. But, yeah, and that's the end of April. And then, of course, in May, we got some fun stuff coming up. May's going to be one of the best months of the year gaming-wise from what I can see. So, all right. Well, everyone, we're going to get started with the Mirror's Edge Catalyst Beta in a moment. We'll quickly get through some gratuitous plugs, and then we'll begin. All right, so here we go. Thanks for being here on the stream. If you do enjoy my daily live streams and on-demand videos all over YouTube, there's many ways that you can support my ongoing efforts to keep doing this full time. First off, obviously watching the videos, watching the streams, and spreading the word. Letting people know that you're watching and you're enjoying what you're seeing definitely helps. Number 2, social media. They call me DSP on Twitter. They call me DSP on Instagram. Not only do I post up daily schedule updates, but all kinds of information on stuff that I'm doing outside of gaming. Last night I was talking about movies I was watching. I posted up a bunch of pictures when I was out and about for the day. So it's fun. And social media presence helps because it spreads the word about the business. Social media is a key factor to business success in this day and age, so please consider following me on social media. Also, there's an Amazon associate link in the description of all of my videos and streams. If you live in the United States and you click on that link and then shop as usual as you would on Amazon, it gives me referral credit and it helps out, so please consider doing that. Unfortunately, what am I talking about? Why did I say unfortunately? I have no idea. There's nothing unfortunate about that. In addition, Patreon at patreon.com/DarksidePhil, where your monthly pledges not only earn you personal perks, such as being able to vote on upcoming events like this Blizzard Marathon. That's why we're doing World of Warcraft, because it has pretty much overwhelmingly won the poll. If you pledge $5 by the end of this month to my Patreon, you'll be nominating and voting for indie games for me to play in a marathon next month, as long as we hit the funding goal for this month. You can also get your questions answered on Ask the King, the show that's coming up later this week. So there you have it. There's a lot of cool perks and stuff that you can get at Patreon. And also it helps me out, obviously, with the business. Any little bit helps, even as little as $1. The most successful people who use Patreon have a bunch of people who give a little bit, okay? All right, and then, last but not least, and especially not least today, because ladies and gentlemen, right now, I don't know if you've been following me on Twitter, but there's a flash sale going on at my girlfriend Leanna's business, The Black Currant. If you have been waiting to check out her soap, her handmade glycerin soaps, or wax tart melts, Now is the time, because as of right now, for the next, looks like 11 and a half hours, there's a flash sale on her business where all soap is on sale. All soap is on sale. I think all soap prices have been reduced to $4.50, if I remember correctly. Normally it's higher than that, but every soap has the prices slashed, trying to reduce some inventory here. So check it out at etsy.com/shop/The Black Currant, spelled C-U-R-R-A-N-T. That's only for the next 11 or so hours. So if you want to check some of her stuff out, which, by the way, is highly rated. Everyone who's tried this stuff has rated it highly. She's shipped over 400 items worldwide. She ships internationally as well. So check it out. All right, everybody. That's about it. Thank you for watching the pre-stream. We are now starting right on time with the Mirror's Edge Catalyst gameplay. I hope that you will enjoy it. 3.5 hours or so, you know, give or take, because there will be a break in there at some point. And that is it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Yes. All right, here we go.